So I was speaking to the prodigal son, and I said, there are things you need to know. I'm glad you're home, really I am, but before we feast, can we talk? While I planted the fields, Father's heart was broken. He worried about you. While I was tending the grapes, he wandered the vineyard wondering if you were okay. If you needed us to help you find your way home. And while I harvested the grapes, he planted that tree there at the top of the hill for you. It's a strong tree. You can see it for miles across the valley. It's your tree. It's your beacon. You should go there and sit for a while. It's full of birds and love and hope. It's a nice place to think about the people you care about and the people like Dad and I who care so much about you. There's much work to be done in the planting and the tending of the vineyard. Father is old now from worry, and I'm thankful to have your hands here to help. I know you never liked rising before the sun, but we must. We must. Don't wait on me. Go ahead and get started in the fields. But leave the fields at the crest of the eastern hill to me. Please don't come there. Only I tend those vines. They're very special to me. I've planted the rose crooked to be different, to see what it yields.
I watch you repeat me, trace my shape over your eyes, that one form watermarked on your skin. You reveal me in sunlight, your words ravel with my curves. You read me in shadow, in the dark you let me in. I'll always be a part of your story. I'll always be the body you come home to. I'll always be the best part of your story, the part that keeps you up when you're alone. Do you see me crooked? The epithet to your life. You sing me only when you're alone.
For my brother. Miles of bramble, thicket that tears at pant leg and cheek. At long last I stand on the rocky precipice, look out to the widening blue. I do not look down, I do not question, I do what is necessary and lean into the open. All that tethers me cannot accommodate the weight of my falling. Without pause there is only this body falling, this rush of air, and nothing more. I do not hear the voices of my children call me home. For a moment I worry, what have I done? But I am falling, and in this newfound freedom there is nothing but this rush of air, this body falling. In time I sleep, dream. He comes as dayless, outstretched wings of feather and wax. He comes as falcon, hummingbird, barn owl, all before I wake, and I marvel each time and study him, my dearest, only brother. When I wake into what I will awaken into for days, days becoming weeks. I will forget when it was that I left. There is only this rush of air, this body falling, and my hair forever fluttering in my face, and this ache of late in my shoulders that tires me. I sleep, dream of wings. A gust of wind sends me tumbling, and I wake to falling faster, to a torrent that tangles wings into a straitjacket as feathers thrash against thigh, sting face. Exhausted, I cannot right myself. I sleep, dream. He comes as red-tailed hawk, and I envy his buoyancy, and study him, wings unfolding, lift, press. I breathe in the horizon and I remember I dreamed myself a blue heron when I was young, but I could not carry him from the madness. At 17 I packed what little I owned and moved 10 states away, and we forever lived too far apart, and he will never come again, except in dream. What did he dream himself when we were young, I wonder? Surely it wasn't this. A suicide at 43. I dream of home, but I am infatuated with the sheen of feather, with the dark gray of them, with the black, the red, with the feel of air above, beneath. How can I ever really go home? He will never be there. I wake, I sleep, I dream of lakes, pine forests, distant ledges that secret sunlight and give it back. I wake, and each new day I find solace in the sound of air pressed into obedience by these wings. I am mesmerized by the simple cadence of my existence, by dawn, by dusk, by the sun's light reflected off a sky wet with rain. I grow more and more obsessed with the strength of muscle in back, shoulder. I miss my children less and less. I sleep, dream. He comes as the brother I am mourning, and he wants to counsel me against forgetting. But all he can say is go home. What of these wings? What of this uncomplicated life apart? And who the hell is he to tell me to go home? He who stayed away those 7 years forgot how I loved him, forgot us all. I tried to reach him, but he retreated deep into his Alaskan woods until he believed there was no one left to love. Not me, not himself, not the frenetic women he let console him now and then. He wants to tell me that forgetting feels like freedom, but that it doesn't last. That the past is always one step ahead, waiting, and I guess he would know. I pretend not to hear him. I fear the life I left behind will attach itself to me like an assemblage of leeches until I am suffocating. How can I go home? Is this what he wondered in the end? Did he hear me call to him the way I hear the voices of my children and remember they are calling my name? The way I called his, but he turned away. He left, and he left me to clean up after him. In dream, I see my children. I wake wanting them here. It is lonely out here. I sleep. I dream myself woman. I dream myself mother. I dream myself envious of the crow and aching for the feel of air beneath remembered wings. I dream myself gazing up at the night sky reminiscent. I dream myself loved, but cannot say that being loved is enough. It wasn't enough for him. I dream myself consoled by the laughter of my children's children and the awe in their faces when they see the faintest outline of wings in shadow just beyond where I stand. I dream myself tethered and always, always wanting. I wake to voices calling my name, and I answer.
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 And I answer.